Breaking into the IT industry takes a lot more than just interest. It requires dedication and strategic planning. And in this video, I'm going to break down my 10 tips and tricks in order to get you your first IT job. Ready to jumpstart your career? Let's talk about it. Tip number 1 is network basics. You'll need to know the basics of networking in order to excel in your career in IT. A lot of different jobs will require basic knowledge of how networks work. There's many different paths you could take in order to get this basic understanding. If you want to go the certificate route, you can get the Network Plus by CompTIA. This is a vendor neutral certificate and will help you understand the basics of how networking works, what an IP address is, and what subnetting is. It will also go over MAC addresses, what hardware is used in networking, and many, many more. This certificate is a great place to start if you do understand basics of IT and computers. Even if you want to get into the development side of things, you're going to need to know and understand how networking works. If you have any program that you're working on that requires communications, it's best to know how a network works. So if you do want to go down the development path, one quick tip, bonus tip, get into Python first. It is probably one of the easiest languages to learn. I would highly recommend you learn Python and then maybe some JavaScript if you want to get into web dev. If you want to get more into the hardware side of things, C++ and C# will be your best friend, especially if you're a gamer like me and you want to get into game dev. C# is going to be the best programming language for you to learn. Tip number 2 is to gain relevant certificates. Speaking of certificates in the last tip, the 3 core certificates that would be best would be to get the A+ certificate by CompTIA, the Network Plus by CompTIA, also the Security Plus by CompTIA. Getting these 3 certificates will definitely help in getting you your first job in IT. These 3 certificates will gain you the knowledge needed for the foundation for getting into IT and moving up in IT as well. It's not going to guarantee a position, but it will definitely help you out. You could also look at gaining specialized certifications in AWS, Microsoft, or Cisco, and go that route as well. I would recommend you get the core 3 first, the A+, Network Plus, and Security Plus before you go specialized, as it will give you a more general overview of how IT works. Tip number 3 is probably one of the most important tips on this list, and that's gaining practical experience. Now, you'll probably see in your job hunting that it requires a certain number of years experience in IT. They don't necessarily mean professional experience. A lot of the times they just want you to have experience with technology and be able to discern what different technologies are and how you can troubleshoot issues with those technologies. A big one is networking. Another big one is hardware. Learning networking and hardware will definitely help you out in the long run. So understanding what printers are like, how to fix printers, there's a lot of those in help desk. Also getting experience working with networking also. I keep saying that in this video and I'm not going to stop saying in this video. It is important to know how networking works. For help desk, I would look into what ticketing systems are and best practices on ticketing systems. There's some YouTube videos out there that go over ServiceNow. There's some basic overview of how to do ticketing systems, and you just need to know what they are. Now, before I got into IT, I set up virtual machines, which definitely helps out in the long run, because learning how to set up virtual machines will definitely help you out in the future. You will come across some sort of virtual machine throughout your time at help desk or any other part in IT. Being familiar with setting them up will also help in learning how different softwares work, and also you can learn different OSs by setting them up. You can set up a virtual machine for Linux and learn how to play with Linux and learn how to use Linux. If you want to get more into networking, buy a switch or a router or both and play with them. You can go on eBay for relatively cheap, like I said earlier. If you want to get into the cybersecurity side of things, go for pen testing. Learn how to do pen testing and also learn some defense as well. A good resource for that would be to go on hackthebox.com. They have courses on how you can learn how to pen test. They have virtual machines that you can actually learn how to hack into. There are a whole bunch of different projects that you can get into, and the sky's the limit here. If you want to get into development, learn some development stuff, learn how to do Python, and learn how to actually write code. Writing code is going to be a lot better than learning the language of Python. Tip 4 would be to build a strong resume. Building a strong resume is definitely important, not only because it makes you look good to a human, but it also, you need to tailor it to robots as well. What do I mean by that? Well, a lot of different job boards are automating their job descriptions and applications. So what does that mean? Well, when you send in your resume, it goes through a series of checks that a AI will look at, and it'll look at your resume and then it'll look at the job description. Now, what happens is when your resume doesn't match up with the keywords in this job description, it's going to kick you out. It's not even going to send you up to an actual person. That is the reality of how it is today. So it sucks, but it also can help if you tailor your resume to the job description. That's why it's very important to hone in on those keywords. A lot of the keywords you'll see are cloud or TCP/IP, networking, hardware, troubleshooting. Put those keywords that you see in the description in your resume and you'll see a lot more success than if you don't have those keywords in there. Tip number 5 is network in the IT community. It's not the other type of networking like IP addresses, switches, and routers. It's people networking. You want to get into IT groups on Facebook or LinkedIn, and you want to read what they're saying in there. Also kind of be proactive in there as well. Ask questions. You're not able to find out why you can't get a job or what experiences you need. Another great place for networking is going to events. There's a lot of IT events. If you want to get into cybersecurity, I know there's DEF CON. That's a very popular IT security event. You can network with people there. There's also some trade shows for IT as well. If you can get into those, that would be great. Also, you can learn a lot there. And also you can network with a lot of hiring managers and people there. Also, job boards, they do a lot of events. They do events where you can actually go to and have a stack of your resume and then just pass it out to whatever company's hiring for IT. We're halfway through this list, and if you made it this far, you are probably liking the content. So if you can do me a favor and smash that like button, subscribe, and hit me up on the comments, I'll help out. If you have any questions and you may be stuck, I'll definitely be in the comments and I'll reply to as many as I can. All right, back to the tips. Tip number 6, use job boards and IT specific job boards. Now, we're all familiar with the job boards like LinkedIn or Indeed. They are very, very good places to look. They do have IT jobs, and I would definitely advise you to go there, and that's where you should be applying. They also have IT specific job boards. A good one that I know of is dice.com. Dice.com is a place where companies will post for very specific IT jobs, and they're pretty picky on that website from what I see, but they do definitely have a whole bunch of jobs listed there. You could use them as a research tool to research your job positions and research what people are looking for out there in IT. When you do find jobs and you're not necessarily think you're ready for applying to them, you can jot down the keywords that they have. Like if you see DHCP, learn what DHCP is, learn how to configure DHCP or DNS server, and kind of go through the motions of that. Use job description as a list of things that you need to learn. It definitely helped me, and it should help you as well. Because if you don't know the technologies that they're listing in their job description, chances are you're not going to get past that automation or not get past the actual human being. Tip number 7 is preparing for interviews thoroughly. Now, this is an important step because you want to be kind of loose and warmed up for when you actually go to that interview. You want to be able to feel confident in your answers and confident in yourself that you'll be able to get this job. A good resource for that is YouTube. There is a bunch of mock interviews for help desk and entry level jobs as well that you can go through, and you can kind of see what technical interview questions there are, and also some more of the interviewee questions, such as tell me about yourself, or why do you want to work here? Stuff like that. Definitely helpful, and I would definitely recommend you going through the motions of that. Maybe bouncing off a friend if you do know anybody in IT. Bouncing some questions back and forth with them can also help you out as well. Tip number 8 is to consider internships and entry-level jobs. Now, entry-level jobs is self-explanatory. You want to get into an entry-level job when you're trying to enter into IT. But if you're going to college and wanting to get more experience, hands-on experience, which will definitely help you in the long run, seek out internships. Definitely use your college as leverage to find paid or unpaid internships. and just do it for like 6 months. It will definitely help out in the long run because you'll actually have hands-on experience. And if you're good, that company might actually hire you as soon as you graduate. Tip number 9 is just that. If you went to college, talking with your alumni and actually connecting with them through LinkedIn or other means can definitely help you out in the long run. Having your friends that are going through the same motions you are, sometimes they'll get a job before you do, and connecting with them definitely can help. You can contact them and be like, hey, how did you get this job? How are you liking it? Stuff like that can actually bring a lot of value to you. And asking them if they're hiring can also bring a lot of value to you, to yourself. Now, I'm not saying go spam everybody in your class. Hey, are you guys hiring? Are you guys hiring? Because that can get annoying. But those that you talk to in class a lot and those that you're close to, keep up with them, talk to them, ask them how they landed the job. What was the interview like? Can you give me any tips? A lot of that can help you out as well. So definitely keep your colleagues close beyond, because sometimes they'll move up and sometimes they'll need to look for a cybersecurity engineer or something in 5-10 years down the line. And you guys kept in touch and they know that you know what you're doing and they'll probably bring you on there. It's definitely a good thing to have in your pocket. And speaking about pockets, a lot of the times, I'll give you a little secret, companies like to do referral bonuses. So definitely having people that you can ask for referrals will definitely help you out. It'll also help them out. A lot of the times companies will give them a little kickback on the end, but don't tell anybody I said that. Tip number 10 is to stay positive and stay persistent. IT in itself is a constant learning battle, and you're gonna have to learn how to enjoy learning IT. No matter what stage you are in IT, you're always going to be learning something new, and you need to start enjoying that now. And if you're not enjoying it now, then you're probably not gonna enjoy IT as a career. Constantly learn, try to improve on your skills. It will definitely help you out in the long run. It'll definitely help you out in your job search, but you could definitely do this if you stay consistent, stay persistent, and stay positive. You got this. Landing your first job in IT requires technical skills, practical experience, and networking. By following these tips, you can increase your chances of getting that first IT job, breaking into IT, and starting a new fulfilling career in technology. If you have any questions or want to add to anything that I've added to this list or edit anything that I've added to this list, don't hesitate to comment below. And if you enjoyed this, you probably will enjoy this next video, which is going to be about the commands in Linux that are the most powerful. You got this. I have faith. You should have faith too. Thank you.